The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TVWAN News. I'm Jasmine Jack.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later in the Bulletin for Sports.
In this edition, TNE Yangua clan established ILG for rights to land. Can Connects Expo emphasizes on national content, and PM's 13 squads to be announced soon. Commissioner of Police David Manning issued a stern warning about the growing menace of online document forgery. He emphasized that such actions are punishable by severe penalties, including hefty fines and lengthy imprisonment. A recent incident involving a fraudulent document sporting official prompted Manning to urge public vigilance. He highlighted the potential for such forgeries to cause distress and urged individuals not to circulate deceptive documents. Manning revealed that sophisticated digital forensics are in play to trace the culprits and called on the public to cooperate in investigations. For its consistent delivery of its mission in wildlife conservation and research, the Port Moresby Nature Park has been supported financially to continue its wonderful work. This week, the Rotary Club of Port Moresby gifted the Nature Park with a 5,000 kina check. Though small, this financial support will go a long way in running its park programs.
The Port Moresby Nature Park is Papua New Guinea's only internationally recognized wildlife park and sets the benchmark for tourism, animal welfare, conservation, research and community nature-based education. The park operations and programs will not go far without the generous assistance from corporate bodies and organizations, including individuals. This week, the Rotary Club of Port Moresby, a community-based organization, donated 5,000 kina to the Nature Park. Receiving the check was incoming chairman of the Nature Park, Lorna McPherson.
On behalf of my fellow members, we'd like to make a donation to the Nature Park, and I hope you'll put it to good use.
Many people don't realise that 30,000 school children go through the park every single year, and this contribution will really help to ensure that the nature park is developed in the right way and that the children can actually access and see animals and plants and really what makes PNG unique. And really, when you look at Papua New Guinea and you look at the Port Moresby Nature Park, we really try and bring the local animals there so that children understand what conservation means, what the future stands for, how they should protect their animals, but not just the animals as well, it's also the plants. And these are things that we want to do as a board and as a team over at the Nature Park. So this is really an important contribution for us. We will use it wisely.
The financial support will go towards supporting its native wildlife conservation program activities. The park has won a number of international awards for its work, including the Historic Zoo and Aquarium Association of Australasia Award for its Sister Zoo Capacity Development Partnership Program in 2016. In 2018, it won an Education Award for Small Institutions for its World Wildlife Week program, focused on educating school-aged children about the importance of native wildlife conservation and preservation. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
A successful completion of the 36.5-kilometer Ring Road project in the Regon North LLG of Central Province will now serve 20 council wards and 17,000 plus people. The road, now completed by Koya Investment Company, will fund from the provincial government and existing access challenges for over 27 years. Leaders of the surrounding areas expressed gratitude towards all stakeholders involved in the project during a gathering at Dilikomana village. Acting Police Station Commander of Kwikila Police Station, Sergeant Bobby Ogara, added that unreported crimes, including sexual offences in North Rigo, are on the rise because police could not access the area. This road makes access to basic services easier and for police to carry out their duties better in the locality. The TVWAN clan, one of 24 customary landowners of the Porgera Special Mining Lease, have incorporated a land group entity under the amended Incorporated Land Group Act 2009 for the legal rights to their land. The ILG will serve as the mouthpiece of the landowners.
Known as the TVWAN Incorporated Land Group, the landowners owning 197.36 hectares of customary land in Porgera have established the Incorporated Land Group as per the ILG Act 2009 to have legal rights over their land. Legal advisor Edwin Laka from the Kandiwalin lawyers said the National and Supreme Courts states for customary landowner groups to incorporate such ILGs in order to have legal ownership over their land.
From the courts, the National and the Supreme Courts, has been for customary land-owning groups to incorporate such ILGs. You will note from the situation in Kutubu that they have incorporated various ILGs through which royalties and other benefits are channeled.
He said the ILG will serve as the mouthpiece for the landowners.
The mouthpiece of the clan members. It's an entity on its own with its own executives, and they will be at the negotiation table.
He said a formal agreement must be established by the Minister for Mining to formally recognize the entity.
We have written a letter to the Minister for Mining, the Honorable Anopala, the Mineral Resources Authority, for the Minister for Mining to issue what we call an invitation under Section 3 of the Mining Act. There has to be a formal invitation issued to landholders. The ILG is now the landholder because under the definition of landholder under the Mining Act is someone or a person that owns customary land. And if we look at the ILG Act as amended, the ILG is now the landholder, and that effectively displaces any agency system that we have been going by. And going by the law, I don't see any legal basis in having an agent under the Mining Act or even under the Oil and Gas Act. This is the first step in the right direction. I encourage all SML clans and LMP clans incorporate the ILG, incorporate your ILG so that we avoid the issue of all kinds of landowners popping up from everywhere.
TVWAN clan chairman Chef Ondalani said now that they are legally established, they urge government agencies to ensure the entity is invited in any negotiation going forward.
Mi abil nga MRA na Mining Minister na New Program Mining Limited lo give invitation lo ILG lo any negotiation process you la go long.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
The APT Policy and Regulation Forum for Pacific hosted its second meeting today in Port Moresby with the aim of addressing common challenges in telecommunication and ICT development issues faced by the Pacific countries. The event started today and will end on September the 1st, 2023.
The APT Policy and Regulation Forum for Pacific is a sub-regional platform established to address common challenges in the telecommunication and ICT development issues faced by the Pacific countries. In line with the APT's strategic plan, the PRFP meeting has sought to provide practical assistance and understanding of policy and regulatory issues of Pacific countries by discussing issues of particular concern and interest to them. The meeting is preceded following the 4th Pacific ICT Ministerial Meeting, which was held on 28 to 29 August. Minister for ICT Timothy Masiu said the topics that will be discussed during the meeting must be approached with a spirit of collaboration, open mind, and a collective will to shape a future that aligns with each country's shared aspiration.
We further engage in discussions with your Pacific friends in the next couple of days on some of the most important topics: accelerating digital transformation in the Pacific, facilitating digital innovation and entrepreneurship, developing digital infrastructure and enabling digital islands, digital security and trust, strengthening partnership for disaster management, digital capacity building and skills development. Let us approach each of these main topics with a spirit of collaboration.
Masiu said the Pacific countries have unique challenges, including climate change and natural disasters, where digital technologies will mitigate these challenges.
Digital technologies today help us mitigate these challenges. And these are the very important forums that all of you who come from different countries in the Pacific, and of course from different backgrounds, different experiences can share. I have attended APT, and I want more people to talk.
The NICTA CEO, Kila Gulavai, said with the vast increase in digital technologies, it is critical to have robust policies and regulations and create an environment that is conducive in the ICT space.
This includes reliable and affordable infrastructure, skilled human capacity, and enabling policies and regulations. That is why the APT is holding annual forums such as this to engage in these conversations.
More than 161 participants from across the Pacific Asian countries took part in this 3-day event, which started today and will end on September 1st, 2023. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
You're watching TVWAN News. After the break, oil palm is the model crop and CanConnex concludes.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Want to know to win a Scale Rice Matchy Pack? Scale Rice is giving away hundreds of really scale prizes for that Scale weekend. Prizes include over 200 Scale Rice Nambi set, over 190 Scale Rice Eskies, 44 JBL speakers with 2 wireless mics. To enter, buy any Scale Rice or Ori Rice product, write your name and contact details at the back of the receipt, drop in the entry box. There's 116 winners fortnightly, 16 promo locations, and 4 fortnightly draws. Try us all.
More details in store or follow us on our social pages. Terms and conditions apply.
All Mama Flame is story all same.
Mr. using flame flower long one yam. Mr. making kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me save like flower balls belong me what them kawa war na spring onion. All pikinini belong me save like him to mas pineapple donut me save walk him lo house. Neme kumu mix him on them cow na karamapim long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is scaling one time wala harpela kai. Me save kissing more kai long all get a toya mi tromoy one time flame flower.
You enough making more one time flame flower.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Breaking. Towed ahead by Rathumaitavuk and Nickens. Oh, what a brilliant try! Jacob Rathumaitavuk in Nickens.
There's nothing more intense than this thing. I've been in racing my entire life since I was 3 or 4 years old. Anytime you get in one of these things, your life is in danger.
There's no room for error. I mean, this is life or death. I'm determined.
We travel across the country with this beast, and people just go nuts.
Another offside. Now they go wide and up to Manson, and he scores. Southland's first try of the season.
Welcome back. Oil palm is the model crop to other commodities. Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke made this remark during the oil palm policy stakeholder consultation for Southern Region in Port Moresby today. Currently, the oil palm has been grown in more than 10 provinces and provides employment to more than 150,000 people. The government has directed a review into the Oil Palm Industry Corporation Act 1992, hence the stakeholders' consultation is needed.
Oil palm was first commercially grown in PNG in 1967 in Kimbe, West New Britain province. It has expanded to other provinces over the last 6 years, covering more than 60,000 hectares of land. Currently, oil palm is grown in more than 10 provinces and provides employment to more than 150,000 people. The government has directed a review into the Oil Palm Industry Corporation Act 1992. Hence, the stakeholders' consultation is needed. The review team is gauging views from growers and milling companies. It has done so for the New Guinea Islands in Kimbe, West New Britain, and Momase in Lae Morobe province. It is currently doing so for the Southern Region here in Port Moresby. Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke said it is now timely for Oil Palm Industry Corporation Act 1992 to be reviewed to allow for change and growth to benefit all stakeholders.
Establishment of the new National Oil Palm Policy, which will give rise to the review of Oil Palm Act 1992. The new legislations will provide the regulatory framework for the oil palm industry to grow and expand. Therefore, National Oil Palm Policy is needed to enforce the new legislations. As such, this policy consultation is important for all stakeholders to freely and genuinely contribute to the discussions. Setting up of the Oil Palm Ministry Office and the Oil Palm Policy Secretariat Office will allow me to undertake my ministerial functions effectively.
Minister Maneke also said there is room for more improvement to maintain current investors and attract new ones. Therefore, a new PNG National Oil Palm Policy will give effect to the legislations and regulations for ensuring a conducive environment for all stakeholders and thus grow the industry.
Formulation of a long-term strategic plan for the industry. The plan will provide a roadmap in the development of the industry and which will be consistent with MTDP for 2023 to 2027, outcomes and the resource framework and other national and sector policies. Through this plan, we want to increase land mobilization for expansion, application for best management practices, climate smart agriculture, promote and establish of oil palm mills, ensuring local content, administration of different benefits, promote downstream processing and research development geared towards the suitable growth of oil palm in Papua New Guinea. As such, this policy consultation is a mandatory requirement for the establishment of the first Papua New Guinea National Oil Palm Policy.
Today's consultation in Port Moresby is the last of regional consultations. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
The Launakalana estate in Central Province are running smoothly as they take care of more than 260 cattle from Lae Morobe Province. Launakalana Farmer Supervisor Kaile Korowi shared that cattle numbers are increasing in the ranch since the first shipment back in December of 2022.
More than 260 cattle are now in good hands at the Launa Kalana estate in Rigo District, Central Province. Launa Kalana Farmer Supervisor Kyle Korowi said that cattle numbers are increasing in the ranch since the first shipment back in December of 2022.
Only roughly likta sol mi plagat strong blabanis so mi play catering mall na feeding mall stop. So when something come up behind him also mi no sabe but at least mi put him long quarantine kind also long sample days long sample all long good long inside belly come one time okay mi play raus him long are lo solwara na long year to put him inside long stockyard na after 4 or 5 days mi play raus him go long paddock no kay around stop.
For the first shipment of cattle, roughly more than 10 calves were born in the space of 9 months.
Korowi stated that the increase of pregnant cattle means that food supply in the area is not an issue.
But plenty mama only got bell. So hopefully me play reach him 15 over or close to 20 by come up next 2 months or something. All first batch come long in. Only been come, all come lose weight now, only skeleton na come. But all come up Launa Kalana and all grow fatty ones also me black and look him long in. Now second batch come here, master all come here, so all come on the weight and you will go with the wrong land also. But same ground, same grass stuff, so me blow also by improve planting.
Cattle are raised in the country to produce beef, veal and dairy products. More cattle means the country will benefit more from these products rather than importing.
During the arrival of second shipment recently, Managing Director for Livestock Development Corporation Limited, Terry Coim, said he is aiming for 1,000 cattle to be brought to Launa Kalana Estate for breeding. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
Smallholder farmers in Central Province are urged to train to farm cattle, goats and other farm animals. Launa Kalana Estate in Rigo District of Central Province is currently taking care of more than 200 cattle, goats, horses. It is aiming to raise chickens and pigs to distribute to farmers in Central Province.
The Launa Kalana Estate in Rigo Central Province aims to farm different types of farm animals other than cattle. Hence, Launa Kalana Farmer Supervisor Kyle Korowi is urging smallholder farmers to seek more training in how to raise other farm animals.
One must take ownership na look out him good. You may look out him cow but look out him ibla, plenty ways. So suppose kind money can come up. All smallholder farmers, please, you must try him na look out him good, breed him, you need him help him come lo mibla. He got training program to stop by mibla can help him yubla. You know, plenty ways, but when we plan up, help him, less time in. You plan it more cow, and we plan lawyer, but plan up, help him, on slatu.
More than 200 cattle are being reared at Launa Kalana Farm. The farm also has 6 goats and 3 horses.
We got 3 horses, so only no train long current man also, we plan no ride long all yet. But he got man lo training by come next week, something long training all na. Then all cowboy can ride around or kind of thing.
Korowi said there were about 10 smallholder farmers in the province. However, the lack of livestock resulted in farmers not being able to farm animals.
Now we play try to keep more. What time is la stock? So number more you will show him interest. So probably at the end of the year we might have some fair ideas on how much play by Catlongan.
Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The surrounding community at Launa Kalana Estate have been asked to respect the farm, the animals and farm workers as well. Farmer Supervisor Kyle Korowi said the farm employs 17 local boys, 6 of whom are permanent hands, the rest are casuals. Security is minimum and there have been minor incidents, but they would like to maintain a friendly relationship with locals. Another challenge is the supply of water for the animals, which is being addressed.
So I think I'm going to attention long managing director and all boss finish here, so all by increasing capacity.
Gulf Governor Sir Chris Haiveta officially closed PNG's first ever Community Affairs and National Content Conference and Expo at the PNG University of Technology in Lae today. Can Connects is an inaugural national event that focused on landowners and landowner companies, with Haiveta re-emphasizing on national content. The inaugural Community Affairs and National Content Conference and Expo came to a successful close today at the PNG University of Technology in Ley Morobe Province. Described as a national event that, for the first time ever, focused on landowners and landowner companies, attracted 846 registered attendees, including 5 landowner companies in the mining and petroleum sector and multinational and national companies. Before officially closing the event, Gulf Governor Sir Chris Haiveta re-emphasized the Prime Minister's sentiments on local content, describing it as a crucial part in the investment and development of mining and petroleum projects. Haiveta said local content, which is maximum benefit for locals in project areas, should be improved for the benefit of investors, project developers, the government and landowners. He said the project supports a national content plan policy, and the national content plan must detail how they will assist landowner companies, both with and without proven track records, in facilitating their operations and growth.
So while project developers usually prefer engaging with landowner companies that experience this may unintentionally exclude many new land codes, or many land codes in new project areas such as mine that lack such experience or capacity, and government intervention, both national and provincial, is necessary to prevent this from happening. So prioritizing opportunities for those in the new project areas is very important for both the national government. So far, I've yet to see the national government come out to me for public. The penalties for non-compliance under the Oil and Gas Act range from 1,000 to 5,000 kilo, with desertion including a penalty of 25,000. Given the importance of the NCP, these fines might not be sufficient to deter non-compliance. A tiered penalty system with higher fines for serious non-compliance and lower fines for minor offences could be more effective.
Haiveta outlined that the National Content Plan is a sensitive yet critical topic for PNG. The Minister for Petroleum, Karenga Kua, and the Department of Petroleum and Energy have initiated a process to enhance the NCP for the benefit of landowners, businesses and Papua New Guineans seeking opportunities in the oil and gas industry. He encouraged attendees to speak up if they spot any issue with the content plan. He then officially closed Can Connects, thanked attendees for embracing the conference and hoped they took away lessons that will apply in their journey. And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2770 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2695 US, $0.4132 Australian dollars, $0.2400 euro, and 38.95 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, copra, and crude oil closed higher, while gold, palm oil, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TVWAN News. We'll have news from abroad when we come back. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hey, you want to talk? Want to win one of 4 Costa buses? Simply collect 6 SP Lager red promo caps and enter the draw at a participating store near you. There are heaps of other great prizes to win too, like SP Hunters jerseys and other awesome SP Lager gifts. So enter the draw today for a chance to win. There's a bus to be won in Islands, Southern, Momase, and in New Guinea Islands. SP Lager, Bungi Mumi!
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia! Prime PNG made.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Nice quick hands as well, and in the corner, Rayolas gets a second.
Great little hand there from Collins and
Get ready for a mouth-watering dive into the wild with Mike Robinson.
Look at that! Good job. Ow!
It's the ultimate catch and cook.
I have noticed that you have not gutted it.
I tend not to gut it.
There's so much flavour.
That's stunning, to be fair.
You know, we're enacting what our ancestors did. It's in our DNA to do this.
Fishing the Wild. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Looking at the inside, he's got a clean break here, Campbell, and he works it inside the feed out, gives it off to Cameron, and Brett Cameron is under the post for Manawatu. Not bad.
Welcome back. The 3 U.S. Marines killed in an aircraft crash off northern Australia have been identified, and their bodies are now in their way to Darwin. An exclusion zone remains in place as authorities piece together what went wrong, while devastated colleagues lean off each other for support.
Mourning the loss of 3 of their own after a friendly exercise between allies turned tragic. 29-year-old pilot Captain Eleanor LeBeau, 37-year-old Major Tobin Lewis and Corporal Spencer Collart, the names and faces of 3 visiting Marines who will never go home. Corporal Collart was just 21 years old. The trio were flying to the Tiwi Islands when their aircraft suffered a fatal error. The crew credited with bringing the Osprey down in a way that cost them their lives but saved countless others. We are deeply saddened by the loss of 3 respected and beloved members. Our thoughts and prayers remain with the families and with all involved. Just last month, 2 of the Marines who died were part of an air show on the Gold Coast, with the Ospreys on display. Now their colleagues are 3 members short.
Bewildered, hurt, and a bit of shock. Sad.
The gut-wrenching loss, a tragic legacy of the 2,000-strong Marine presence in the top end. Of the troops that were here on the islands for Exercise Predators Run, the majority have now left. The rest moved back to the mainland, where those impacted will receive support, and the others will continue the war games in Darwin. The recovery operation and investigation are ongoing, while 3 Marines remain in Royal Darwin Hospital.
The United States has signed a new agreement with Palau, which gives American ships the authorization to unilaterally enforce maritime regulations in the tiny Pacific Island nation's exclusive economic zone, the U.S. Coast Guard said Tuesday. The agreement comes as both the U.S. and China are seeking to expand their influence in the Pacific and follows pleas from Palau's president for Washington's help to deter Beijing's unwanted activities in its coastal waters. As part of a continued commitment to enhancing maritime governance and promoting regional sovereignty, representatives of the United States and the Republic of Palau signed an expanded bilateral law enforcement agreement on 23 August 2023 on the sidelines of the Joint Heads of Pacific Security Conference in Palau. This advancement follows the similar agreement signed with the Federated States of Micronesia in October 2022, under which the U.S. Coast Guard has conducted boardings from FSM. Hurricane Idalia is barreling towards Florida's Gulf Coast, forcing evacuations in low-lying areas. The storm system has already lashed Cuba with heavy rain and hurricane-force winds, and it's intensifying ahead of its expected landfall in Florida tonight.
As Hurricane Idalia approaches. It's forecast to make landfall as a Category 3 storm over what's known as the state's Big Bend. In the island town of Cedar Key, businesses have been boarded up and locals told to leave.
If it's a large hurricane, then pretty much the last 8 years that we've been working for this restaurant, it's going to be wiped out and we're not going to have much left after this.
Low-lying areas are expected to be swamped when the hurricane hits. The storm surge could rise above 4.5 metres. Idalia drenched Cuba as it intensified into a hurricane, while people in Florida scrambled to get themselves ready.
We've never left a storm before, but my son's a law enforcement officer and he's encouraged me real bad to leave.
Less than a year after Hurricane Ian killed around 150 people in Florida's southwest, these communities are preparing for the worst.
The votes of Australia's many migrant communities may be the key to the success or failure of the Voice referendum, particularly in the most populous states. Some, like Canberra's Chinese community, have chosen to campaign directly for a yes vote, but not all multicultural communities are doing the same.
Expats enjoy a national pastime. A spell at the crease, interest rates and the cost of living are front of mind, while debate on The Voice is still filtering through.
I'm not involved into any of this stuff, so you're asking the wrong person.
I have got no idea about that, sorry.
I'll be voting yes for it, yeah. Because I believe they're the First Nations people of this country and the country belongs to them.
First Nations sporting icons and grassroots campaigners are delivering the Yes 23 pitch.
This is the first time we're getting an opportunity to acknowledge the real traditional land holders, custodians.
Style, yes, but perhaps substance, no, for Canberra's 20,000 strong Indian community.
Few of my friends, few of the community leaders are asking the same question, that exactly what we are voting for.
A message not believed by many in the capital's Chinese community.
We don't want to make the voice of the parliament as a racial thing. We want to make the voice of the parliament as to treat everybody equal.
21 community organisations represent Canberra's 26,000 Chinese Australians. Those organisations will back the Yes campaign.
We vote to support our First Nation people, and that is the message we want to get across.
Canberra's 30 Indian community groups represent the diversity of the world's most populous nation, but community leaders won't tell them which way to vote.
We let individuals make the decisions. We don't necessarily promote yes or no.
The PM says a short, sharp election-style campaign will precede the as-yet unannounced polling day, with the hope that soft no's indicated in the polls can become hard yeses, no matter their background. James Viver, ABC News, Canberra.
And that ends the news segment. Next in sports with Tracy, volleyball to announce squad and new women's format.
Hey, can I get a Virginia?
A what?
Morning King.
Tiny.
The green one?
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful.
She is strong like Superman.
I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Karen, she works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
Get ready for more! Digicell's new Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. Now with more options, more plans, and more time. Choose from our daily plans, now valid for 24 hours, weekly plans, or even a monthly plan from our suite of Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. All with more data and starting from as low as 1 kina. Yes, you heard right. What's up, Sol? Yes, yeah! Only Digicell's Big Plus Supersized Data Plans gives you more. Activate today on My Digicell app or dial *675# only with Digicell.
The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost here.
Oh, out! What a beauty! He's on absolute fire!
Gutters lands down. Back to Smith. Now Sullivan breaking through. Baylen Sullivan. Oh, good tackle. Taramai hacked forward.
Put on the ground, tackle made by Dixon. Now some numbers on the right. Taramai, Daffy, and last, Harbour.
Will be announcing its final squad early next month in preparation for this year's Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands. According to PNG Volleyball Federation General Secretary Ronald Omoa, preparation started in March, leading up to the selection trials in April during the Easter weekend.
A final squad of 14 men will be announced in September from the original training squad of 18, which was picked from the trials in April. PNG Volleyball Federation General Secretary Ronald Omoa said they are looking at retaining 12 members from the 2019 team to the Samoa Games, including 6 from their under-21 division.
The core of the team is made up from the players from the 2019 and 2015 Pacific Games. So they are the leaders in the group that we have. We have about 5 or 6 young guys that have come through the ranks in the last few years. So from the under-21 divisions, and they have built it into the Premier Division. So yeah, there's about all hands in the 18. There's about 12 guys from the previous games, and then we have about six young faces in there. But they're as good as the experienced players. So yeah, give it a good top guys a good challenge, and then if they're good enough, they make the team.
Omoa said the selection process was done on players' form and game statistics from the trials and international experience.
Unlike the previous year, selection was done statistically, so all the statistics were gathered, and basically players pick themselves to be where they are now. Our job is just to guide them and ensure them that they continue to, train correctly, do the right things off the court, and then, look after themselves, and then hopefully, carry that form over to the games.
From the last 2 Pacific Games, PNG finished 6th in Samoa in 2019 and came 4th in 2015 Games on home soil. Meanwhile, PNG Sports Federation has put out a challenge to all sporting codes heading to the Honiara Games for a podium finish.
Learning from that experience and building up for these Pacific Games, we have a challenge from the National Federation for a podium finish. So preparation is towards the podium finish, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze, but our aim is to go for a podium finish.
The 3 powerhouse French colonies, Tahiti, Wallis and Futuna, and New Caledonia, are again tipped to dominate the volleyball arena at the Games. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
After last week's announcement of Justin Olberg as the new PNG Commonwealth coach, another announcement of the PM's 13 team will be made in the upcoming days in preparation for the return of the annual clash between
PNG and Australia on the weekend of September 23rd and 24th. The same weekend will also feature the PNG Orchids and the Australian Jillaroos match, including the Junior Kumuls and Junior Kangaroos. PNG RFL CEO Stanley Hondina said all respective coaches will now announce their own coaching staff and management team before the squads are named. Hondina said there will be 12 teams playing 6 games over 2 days, something never done before, which should be an exciting weekend of footy. Draw for the PM13 will be released then. The PM13 will be followed by the 4-week Pacific Championships, which kicks off on October 14th and 15th.
In conjunction or joint with NRL, will announce the PM13 next week. Ticket pricing, game schedule, what games on Saturday, what games on Sunday, all this will follow.
The 2023 National Women's Championships has embarked on a new format and stand-alone tournament as a lead-up for the proposed Women's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup to run in 2025 to 2026 and in preparation for the 2026 Rugby League World Cup. The Rugby League tournament for women has been showcasing the top performing talent from the 4 regions.
The 2-week National Women's Championship is part of a long-term plan to establish a national competition for women in the country. It is driven by the PNG RFL's High Performance Unit and the PNG National Rugby League. Competition began on Sunday, 20 August 2023, featuring rugby league talents from across the 4 regions. The championship is now into round 3 of matches. The championship highlights the pathway and opportunity for female rugby league players in the PNG RFL system to be selected for the Junior PNG Orchids or the Senior Orchids program. The tournament has also exposed teams to opportunities to proper rehab and recovery practices under the guidance of the PNG RFL High Performance Team and well-being sessions with the NRL in PNG and Queen's Pets. Coaches and trainers had sessions under PNG RFL Coaching Development Manager Joe Grimer as well as QRL Physical Performance Director John Mitchell. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Federal Senate inquiry looking into Victoria's preparedness to host the Commonwealth Games has had that before the Games were cancelled, regional host cities felt they were being detected to and ignored. Local sports association has expressed their disappointment and bewilderment about why the event couldn't proceed, but the state government has dismissed the inquiry as a political stunt.
A few months ago, Bendigo was preparing to host 6 sports in the Commonwealth Games. Today it was hosting more questions about why they didn't go ahead.
We were excited about the opportunity to be able to show off our sport, what we can deliver as a sport in our own backyard, which we don't get an opportunity to do, and it was a real kick in the gut.
The Victorian government pulled the pin on the 2026 Games in July, citing unexpected multi-billion-dollar cost blowouts. Regional stakeholders told the inquiry into Australia's preparedness to host international sporting events they were sceptical of the price tag.
It's an extraordinary amount of money, and our view would be that it never needed to be that amount of money.
The inquiry heard council CEOs were pressured into signing non-disclosure agreements that prevented them from openly discussing Commonwealth Games issues with their own councillors. A City of Ballarat representative telling the hearing if you wanted to be part of the conversation, you had to sign.
For a state government to think it's okay to silence those officials, I think speaks more about the state government and how they think government should work than it does indeed those CEOs.
I can't even ever really imagine a day when I'd be taking lectures from Bridget McKenzie on anything. On anything.
It might be game over for the regions, but it's still game on for Spring Street.
Bishop's Spanish football boss Luis Rubiales has been ordered to resign after forcibly kissing a player following the Women's World Cup final in Sydney. Backlash and fury has been growing for weeks, with prosecutors from Spain's top criminal court now launching a sexual assault investigation.
In Madrid, hundreds of protesters gathered to support Jenny Hermoso and call on Spain's football chief to resign.
It's just so disappointing. We cannot express our joy as women without having some man interrupt it and spoil it and take it for his own.
After a 6-hour emergency meeting, the Football Federation told the president he should quit.
We've written a release where we clearly state everything we want and everything we're going to do.
The government and the Players' Union say that's not enough, that football needs an overhaul.
There has to be a profound renewal of the sporting structure in our country. In other words, it is clear that what we are experiencing is not normal.
Supporters of Rubiales held their own protest outside a church, where his mother started a hunger strike to highlight what she called the inhumane treatment of her son.
It's normal for a mother as faithful as she is to ask God for help. A point comes when you're overtaken with desperation and you don't know where else to look.
And that the supporters of Jenny Hermoso will soon get what they want.
And now the weather focus for the next 24 hours. Weather for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Momase, isolated showers and thunderstorms with windy condition. Ley and Medeng, partly cloudy. Wewak and Vanimo, possible brief showers. Highlands, most centers to experience possible brief showers. Southern, isolated showers with windy condition. Port Moresby, Kerema and Darrow mostly fine. New Guinea Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with windy condition. Lorengau and Kavieng, brief showers. Buka, some showers with thunderstorms. Ocean focus for the next 24 hours. Coral seas moderate. Pacific Ocean seas moderate with southeast to southerly winds of 10 to 20 knots, casting to 25 knots over western sector. Waters of Samurai Islands to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Finschhafen to Vitias to CSC and waters of Manus and western group of highlands, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3.0 meters at times.
And that wraps up the news for tonight. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.